The Vatican is the richest religious institution in the world today. Its basilicas, paintings, gold-decorated halls, they outshine the museums of many countries. And its bank, although rarely talked about, manages billions of dollars. But here's the interesting part. This wealth didn't fall from the sky. No one opened a holy chest and said, "Here you go." This wealth was built step by step over centuries, with faith, with money, and with agreements that would surprise most people. This story isn't about religion. This is the story of how faith turned into an economic power. And it all begins in the year 313. When Roman Emperor Constantine legalized Christianity, everything changed. Overnight, a small underground community became a state-supported religion. Aristocrats donated land. Emperors sent gold, silver, and treasures. Constantine himself financed the construction of the first St. Peter's Basilica. That day, the church learned something important. Money is power. Power requires money. By the Middle Ages, the church had established its first steady income model, the tithe. Everyone had to give 10% of their earnings to the church. It was the most reliable cash flow of that era. Over the centuries, this system grew so much that by the year 1000, the church owned nearly 1/3 of all land in Western Europe. Farmlands, vineyards, forests, mills, the earliest form of what we would today call passive income. But over time, even that wasn't enough. In the 11th century, the church discovered a new method, indulgences. In simple terms, don't worry about your sins, pay a fee and we'll reduce the punishment. It sounds harsh, but in that era it was incredibly popular. It became a massive source of income for the church. Then came the Crusades. They are described as holy wars, but behind the scenes there was a serious economy. New taxes, war financing, treasures taken from conquered cities. The Vatican's military and financial power reached its peak. The irony is this. While priests preached poverty and humility, the church had become the biggest landowner and the biggest tax collector in Europe. By the Renaissance, popes were no longer just spiritual leaders. They acted like princes, kings, and bankers. Money flowed into art, architecture, and politics. To build the new St. Peter's Basilica, indulgence sales increased even more. You know that famous slogan, "As soon as a coin in the coffer rings, the soul from purgatory springs." Meaning, when a coin drops into the box, a soul comes out of purgatory. One person could no longer tolerate the situation this created. Martin Luther. In 1517, Luther launched a revolt, and the Reformation split Europe in two. The indulgence system collapsed. For the first time, the Vatican's power was seriously shaken. By the 19th century, things got even worse. When Italy unified in 1870, the Papal States were taken away. In one night, the Pope lost his lands, his army, and his income. Everyone thought the Vatican was finished. But if history teaches us anything, it's this. Once money creates power, that power does not disappear easily. And the Vatican's great comeback came in 1929, with the Lateran Treaty signed with Mussolini. This agreement didn't just give the Vatican the status of a country. It also granted huge compensation, government bonds, investment freedom, and full tax exemption. This was the rebirth of the modern Vatican. Then came a structure very few people truly know about, the Vatican Bank. Today, it still manages billions of dollars, is not subject to international oversight, and has been involved in numerous scandals. But the essence is this. This story shows how religion and money became intertwined, how faith created an empire, and how wherever there is money, there is power. Because whether it's a state, a church, or a company, there is one rule that never changes. Those who have money gain power. Those who have power earn even more money. And faith is often the bridge connecting these two forces. Money and power have always been intertwined. Learn from history and question every system. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more discoveries.